Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 9th of December, 2023, and we have back, by popular demand, by many people asking, we have Robin Jelinek. Welcome, Robin. She channels Athena in Truth, and she has been a crowd favorite from her last time on. So we're really happy to welcome her. And I wasn't here when she was here last time, so I'm excited that she's here. First, we'll start with some announcements. Angie, if you want to.
Thank you very much. We have our gathering scheduled for next August 8th through August 12th, 2024. It is $6.95 a person. It is about oneness, coming together, being in like minds, sharing in our relationships, or understanding our relationships with our people outside of the earth. If you're interested, it is $6.95. Email classes@hucolo.org. I have the flyer on our webpage, humancolony.org. The flyer and our registration form are also on our Facebook page as well. So if you're interested, we've got a lot gathered already. I can't wait for this event. This is going to be a great event.
Yes, and Robin is welcome to come as well.
Absolutely. It's for everyone just coming together and being together, sharing, and being each other's energies and like-minded people.
Perfect. So exciting. I'm excited to come. So many of us have known each other for going on 10 years now.
Yes.
Not met face to face.
Right.
So we've had a nice, wonderful group. And I'm looking at my dog who's being naughty, and he's looking at me knowing he's naughty. So Tommy, I see you. Okay. Why don't we start with a blessing? I'll ask Michael to do a quick blessing. And the reason we're only going to do one today is because Robin is going to be here for the webinar is going to be a little bit shorter today, just 1 hour. So I want to get right to it. So if Wendy, you're here at the end, I'd like you to do a blessing at the end. Okay, Michael, go ahead.
Yes, Archangel Michael is here with us, and he wants to protect and send love and light and let everybody get as much good information so they can raise the vibration of this world. And I send love, light, and healing and blessings to everyone in the group and shield them from negative entities and everyone who will listen on YouTube. Blessings.
Blessings. Thank you. Thank you so much. Amen. All right. I'm going to make Robin the spotlight. There you go. So it's really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And nice to have you here. You are in Florida right now?
I am. Naples, Florida. Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful there. Okay, wonderful. So why don't you, for the people that have not met you or seen you before, why don't you just give a short introduction of yourself, who you're channeling, how it sort of all began, and what is your sort of major message of your channeling?
Okay. Well, good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Robin Jelinek, and I did write a book recently. It was called Choose Your Universe. And basically, the book is really the whole principle behind creating the kind of life really that you want to experience while you're here. A lot of people think that the idea of having a choice has to be one that they like. It's not necessarily all that way. It's one that you've chosen or one that you've created for yourself. And then you need to get behind that choice. That's basically what the book is about. If you're incongruent with the choices that you make in your life, you're not really going to get the exact type of experience that you're hoping to get. I've spent the period of from my early 20s, I'm in my early 60s right now, on a spiritual journey, and it was something that I just loved and really had a passion for. That brought me to a Kundalini awakening in my early 40s, which really was a life-changing event. And since that event, I became a channeler of a group called or named Athena in Truth. And it is a number of entities that speak under the one name Athena. And Athena is really the representation of a female being both a woman and in her power. And it's not necessarily Athena in truth, the goddess of Athena. However, it's a stream of consciousness of which she belonged to. And therefore, when I felt that kind of power in the moment that spirit entered me, I was asking the question, am I ever going to be confident? I had reached, my early 60s and sometimes wavered a little bit in confidence. And in that moment, that's when I felt something draw a breath into me, and I realized it was not me. And the name that came was, in fact, Athena. And then the in truth was added. I think anyone that listens to any of the transmissions or the things that Athena says for the group, that they say the truth. And sometimes that can be pungent, and sometimes it can be soft. It kind of depends. My group's a little different than other channelers. I really take on the essence or the energy of the person that I'm moving with. And between the number of entities that are channeling under the name of Athena, the energy that closest matches the person that I'm having an interaction with would be the one that would actually generate the type of feeling during the session. So if someone's really stuck in something, it could be quite loud and pungent. If somebody's very relaxed and easygoing, it may take on that effect. And they very much feel their own energetic field. I provide a portal through the group that I channel that then invites the divine part of those that are in session with me to join that meeting. And so in essence, you're meeting yourself. It feels very resonating with you, very good to you. And they leave the exchange pretty changed by it. And I would say it sticks. It's not something that they go away from the session and lose it. It's something that they take with them, that connection to themselves. And so it started out where I was doing a lot of 1-hour sessions, which were quickly turning into more lengthy time. And I wasn't able to cover the kind of information that was needed in the work that I was doing. And I became more of a Kundalini activator or an assister, let's use that, to people who want to awaken their own Kundalini, because it is the fast track for connection to the spiritual or the divine part of yourself. And so I have found myself now in 90-minute sessions, primarily most of the time, assisting people in going through their chakras or their energetic field and removing energetic entrapments or emotions that have been stored in them for a very long time that could be theirs, or they could be actually coming from a past life. And so in that process of getting them to love themselves and to really understand why it is they have chosen the feeling that they have, and that the only reason that they're being reflected experiences that may not be enjoyable for them or satisfying would be because they've hung on to something in the judgment and condemnation of themselves based upon the feelings that they've had. And so this is the work that I'm primarily focused in. So it's starting to make total sense to me now. It was a couple of years of unfolding, but now I understand why I had my Kundalini rising. I actually had a partial rising, so I've had it come up from the bottom and then down through the top. I went through what was called the dark night of the soul, and I have a solution to that after living through that. And so I really can guide anyone on this journey that's either wanting to have that experience or in the middle of it, or whether they've had a spontaneous awakening that isn't complete. I have the knowledge and the wisdom from having had experiencing that myself to assist people in moving through that and coming out the other side of it.
Wow, that's beautiful. I know that, in India, we talk a lot about Kundalini awakening. And I know one of the biggest things is the sort of aftercare of the person, because someone's Kundalini awakes and then they're like, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to ground. They don't know how to, navigate all of this new motion of energy within their bodies. So I'm sure that's something that you also help with so that they can ground and become, one with their
primarily when a person has a Kundalini awakening, what occurs is they move out of the 3 lower energy centers and they start moving up into the heart center. And one of the things in 4th dimensional reality, which is inclusive of that center, as you are making a transition from 3rd dimensional reality into 4th dimensional reality, you start to realize you are the creator of your life. You start to understand circumstances and situations that are coming to you and why you're getting them. But what comes with that is condemnation and judgment. And that's actually what causes the dark night of the soul. If a human could just move through their experiences and look at what they lived and what they chose to feel and some of the things that they've done without judging it, without condemning it, they would very quickly move through the 4th dimensional feeling of reality and expand themselves into 5th dimensional reality, where they would then create from joy and happiness. And basically what would be the difference would be they would be minus judgment and condemnation of themselves and others. But as people feel that kind of judgment and condemnation, when they first start feeling that in fourth dimensional reality and in the discovery that comes with the observation of their self, this is the beginning of the awakening period, they often do move to judgment and condemnation. It's just natural. It's not something to be fighting against or to look at as being the wrong thing. It's just this very natural phase that you move through. But the way to quickly get through that is to love yourself for what it is you've chosen. And again, that's what we do in sessions, is we teach people how to do that and effectively move those energetic entrapments out of the field.
Perfect. So what is your process as far as channeling? Do you go into trance? What does it take for you?
I'm immediate. There's no wait time for me at all. My group, for whatever reason, I don't have to do any surrounding for protection. I don't have to do any adjustment. They are thought provoked. So if I think about them, they want to speak immediately. And if I think I don't want to speak, they usually speak, they don't speak. That's how it works for me. But there's absolutely no lag time at all. I can pop right in and out of it. And in fact, as time goes on, it's getting more and more intermingled. For a person to really understand, again, what a Kundalini rising is, it's really the connection to the divine part of yourself. And so that provides you with a lot of flow, a lot of wisdom and knowledge, a lot of ability to communicate at a high level. And so I have that as Robin from that connection, because the divine feminine energy reached the crown where the divine masculine is, and it's unified and now become a transferable energy. And therefore you have that connection and that ability to conduct yourself in ways that sometimes might be a little bit more difficult if you have not had that awakening. But then I also have the channeling group, which is a little bit of a different thing. It's not the same as the divine part of me. It's me totally stepping aside and allowing that level of consciousness to communicate through me. That's what happens when the group does their channeling. Interestingly enough, when your Kundalini reaches the crown, that's where you reach these really ecstatic states of almost a drug-like feeling, very high, very good state that you would feel like you'd like to sit in all day and not live your life as you normally would. But when I channel, I feel nothing, because I'm removed from it. And I've often posed that question, why don't I get that ecstatic high state when I channel you? And they said, well, that's ours and yours is yours. So that was the answer to that. So it's just to know that you'll know when unification happens. If you've had a Kundalini awakening, it's going to take a lot of years to work through all your nadis and all the different chakras that are located deep within the tissues in the body. But when it finally reaches the crown, one of the biggest signs is that the big smile on your face, this very ecstatic feeling, and there's a contentment, a fulfillment of feeling like you don't need to study as much, read as much, meditate as much. You feel like you've reached some level of connection that satisfies you. That's the way I would put it.
Okay, beautiful. So why don't we allow you to go into your channeling state? And I don't know, does Athena give a sort of opening message?
No, she'll just come in and we can go in any direction. She'll talk for a second,
Okay.
and we'll just go ahead and let it happen.
So just to the people in the room, in the Zoom room, and also, and is there any subjects that she likes, or they like to
They're
talk
primary
about?
teachers. They're not big on really talking about themselves or going into their names or things that are not going to really produce better results in a human's life. They're really here for people to become activators, to be able to raise consciousness through their own raising of their own consciousness. And so that's primarily really what they're interested in. They will very much work through any problematic areas that a human's struggling with in their life. Emotionally, sometimes physically, but overall questions that really don't pertain to the benefit of the human in their experience is something that they really are not that interested in participating in.
Okay, perfect. So for the people in the Zoom room and the people in the YouTube chat, and I'm watching both, if you have questions, we'll start with Suzanne, who does have a question. So just 1 second, Suzanne. So and just in normal, just put a Q in the Zoom chat, and for the people in YouTube, please type out your question and we will kind of take it from there. All right. Yeah, Ange, if you want to watch YouTube, no problem. That'd be fantastic. Okay, so we'll start with Suzanne. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Hi, Robin. Hi, greetings to all with you. right now, I feel like I'm going a little bit through, I'm having conflicts with some ideologies. I do create my own reality, and I have had some really great highs understanding and getting to the process where I can do that. But I've also been listening to someone named Michael Singer, and he also talks about, observing reality through your consciousness, moment to moment, without attracting, or being attracted or repulsed by what's in front of you. In other words, you are the observer rather than the game player. And I have a conflict with that because I feel that how do I create my reality if I'm going to be disengaged?
Yeah. Well, he's not asking you to be disengaged. He's asking you to observe your reality without judgment or condemnation of what others are doing. Yeah. That's what's being asked of you. And we know what you are getting at or what is bothering you. Yeah. There are bad things going on in the world and there are bad people, and they should be opposed. These are some of the things that a human believes in. But what you have to understand, and some people will even say to us, well, Athena, do you expect us to be ignorant? And we would say, well, do you expect to be ignorant of how you create? Because you create by how you feel. So if you decide to look at someone that is doing something that is not to your liking, and you have an icky feeling as you do it, the universe is receiving that icky feeling, isn't it? And then it's returning more and more circumstances unto you that represent the feeling that you have emitted to it. You have to understand how you create, because as a human opposes, or they look at things in the world as unfair, as people being victimized, as not deserving, you're judging, aren't you? You're condemning, and you're not having a good feeling as you do it. And so it isn't about the situation. It's about you being a sovereign individual creator. And it's about your creator letting you know that right now, as you emanate your negativity about what you are viewing, you are actually adding to that very thing that you have a distaste of. So how do you add what you want? You look at things to love, don't you? You look at things to admire that make you feel wonderful and make you feel good. And then you let others look at you in the way that you are creating and decide if they would like to join you. And then pretty soon there are more and more masses that are doing it. And you are now adding, hear this, adding the feeling to the world that you want to see in it. You simply are never going to get what you want in letting out a feeling that is unwanted.
Interesting.
What does your truth meter say as you receive that from us?
I'm aware that I haven't been as putting out more positive energy as I am able to. I am aware of that.
Well, stop for a moment. Yeah. As you make yourself aware of that, there's an emotion that would come up in you. And remember, we're mirroring back to you. We are never here to offend anyone. So don't take it that way. Yeah. But as you say, I am aware that I could be more positive than I am, or that I could add something better than what I'm adding. What if we said that to you? What if we said, you know what? You're not doing the best job. And we think that you could be better about adding a little more positivity to the world. What emotion comes up to you when I say that to you?
I guess I feel that I could, and I have in the past, and it's been a really.
We want to know how you feel. Imagine someone coming to you and say, what you're doing isn't enough. What you've been adding isn't positive. It's not enough. How do you feel? Give us the emotion. We don't want you to tell us what you have been doing. We want you to tell us what you would feel like if we said that to you.
I actually feel like I'm not upset by it, because I don't think it actually fits me.
But you said it did. You said you could be doing better.
But I feel like I'm giving a lot.
But you said I could do more.
What I'm trying to do is to kind of, I'm playing with Michael Singer's ideology of just not engaging. And
not engaging does not remove emotion from a human system or their energetic field or their chakras.
Right.
What removes the emotion is surrendering to it. And we believe that Michael Singer does that, but you're misunderstanding the concept just a bit. And it's why we want to get out of you why you said you could do more. And as you say, I could do more than what I'm doing. And if we call you out on it, we say, you could be doing more. How you said it's not true now. Well, maybe that's the divine part of you joining you a little bit here in this meeting, guiding you. But your human said I could do more. Did it
Well,
not?
I know I could do more because in particular in my environment at work, I feel like I could do more because I have a lot of things going on there that are giving me negative feedback.
Okay, let's go there for a moment.
So
how do you feel at work in the negative environment or feedback you're getting? Give us an emotion so we have it.
I feel like I'm not valued.
Not valued. You're not worth a thing as far as we can say. How does that feel?
It hits home better.
Better. Is it a good feeling? Or what is the emotion as you're told that you are not worthy? How do you feel?
Well, I guess I just feel like, yeah, I guess I feel like I'm not valued. So therefore I wouldn't be worthy.
Not worthy.
Right.
Any other emotion that you would attach to someone feeling not worthy or not valued?
I don't know. I guess sad.
Sad. You're a sad woman now too. How do you like being depicted as sad, not worthy? How does that feel?
I don't want to feel like that.
You want to just close off, don't you? Yeah.
Shut down.
Absolutely. Do you ever remember as a child feeling any of those emotions?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And this is what's stuck in your center. Yeah. This is what is in the heart center. And it's actually what causes experiences that you are not wanting to see in your experience that are being reflected through your work. It's not about work. It's not about anything that's going on there. It's about what's going on in here. Yeah. And we have finally identified what it is that you are holding within you that's actually causing you not to be able to perceive what Michael Singer is saying. You think you have to change you. You think you have to do better than what you're doing. No, you don't. All you have to do is love yourself. You understand why you picked those emotions. Anyone living in your experience as a child would have felt just like you did. They would have selected from the pool of emotions that are available to them in streams of consciousness, and they would have chose unworthiness every single time if they had to live what you lived. And so therefore you've lived right, haven't you? You didn't pick the wrong emotion. That's how you felt, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. And so therefore you are worthy. You have done the right thing. What do you think you agreed to when you came here? You came here to be an experiencer for the divine part of yourself. The human is a tool. It's to pick an emotion, a signal, and it's to send that signal to its divine counterpart. And the divine is going to formulate some really lovely experiences immediately when you have the feeling. And they're all idling up there waiting to come into your experience. But as you sit and judge yourself as you could be doing more, and that you've sent the wrong signal in your unworthiness, can't match it, can you? You can't get connected to the divine part of you that's always there. That's a very high vibration that wants to align to you. And how do you do it? In the love of self. I love myself for the unworthiness I felt. I love myself for the way I felt in that home, in that place that I had to live. I sent a signal to the divine. Were you happy? Absolutely, you weren't happy. Are you going to pick happiness? You're not. You're going to send exactly what you felt, and you did it right. The universe expanded, and so did you. But if you want to move to creating joy and happiness, you have to start following the preference or the preferred thing that you think was created by unworthiness, which is real worthiness, and really feeling wonderful about oneself and having all those experiences that support that feeling. Yeah. And so guide yourself in the direction of knowing and of loving yourself for being unworthy, that you created more worthiness in yourself and in the world as a whole. Yeah. Because everything in the divine vibrates at a very high rate and is lifted or transmuted. And hear this, the human is a feeler and releaser of energy. And once that's done, it has nothing else to do. It can't change how it feels. It can't give more or do more. It can't effort in its experience and get very far. But the divine part of you, through its connection to you, does all of the work for you. And then that idea that you could give more, you would just give more, but there would never be a judgment or condemnation or an efforting that would occur. It would be this very natural unfolding of circumstances and situations. And this is what we call the flow of life. It'll just flow right into you. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Do you love yourself now?
I think I have to work on it, I guess, but
Yeah. Now we were really glad you said that. Yeah. The tool is working as it's feeling and releasing. Did you know that? What
Okay.
other work are you going to try to do? Because you're going to paralyze yourself. The only way you're going to get your connection is loving and surrendering what you choose to feel. That's what Michael Singer's talking about. He's not talking about biting on a pencil and tolerating misery. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about loving what you're feeling by the life experience you are in. That's what surrender is. There's no work. There's no changing, no condemning, no judging. There's total acceptance and allowing. This is free will, by the way. This is love of self and free will, the two most important things that a human comes to the plane with. You love yourself for what you feel and you surrender to it. And in that surrender, you open the energy center because surrender connects to the feeling of love and acceptance. And when the human feels love and accepted by the divine part of itself, it does the feeling and releasing. It just releases what it was holding and the flow starts coming back in. That very natural conduit that is connected to the divine is allowed back in by you. You are the one that either allows your divinity or denies it by how you love yourself, you see.
So surrender has to do with being comfortable loving yourself.
Absolutely. Loving yourself in how you feel. I'm jealous. I can look back. You can dig in the bags if you want to. You don't have to. Whatever you are, you are. And there's a good reason you're that way. Something has occurred that has caused it. And in the recognition that you are jealous, you move to yourself. I know you feel it. I know you are jealous. It's okay. It's a charge of energy. It's a selection of a signal. And I've gotten that signal from you. And I've made some wonderful things for you. And if you want to hang on to being jealous, you go right ahead. Yeah. And this is what creates alignment. This is surrendering to what is felt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is the practice.
Well, I'll keep working on it.
Not
And
working.
I know.
Feeling and
But
releasing and surrendering is what you keep doing. Yeah.
All right.
Go back
Very
to
good.
living a life of joy and happiness and stop watching yourself. Stop conducting yourself in a way that you think would deem you as spiritual and start living and loving and laughing. This is what you were meant to do.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to interrupt for just a moment because we have a lot of questions and we have 30 minutes. So I want to make everyone cognizant of time. And especially our beautiful entities who are out of time, just to remind them that there's a lot of people here and we have just a short amount with each one. That would be
We
perfect.
will not unravel any more personal exchanges. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Yes, greetings to the collective. Since Robin joined and began speaking, I felt your energy jump in and it really pressed into my high heart, my temples, my crown. And then once you began to come through fully in a channel, my right rib started to grab and I'm kind of feeling that energy moving. But can you help me understand what is this addressing for me?
Anything that would bring a sensation in the rib cage or that area would in fact be an emotion that would be held in the solar plexus or in the chakra located in the middle of the stomach. And it would be in regard to control over one's experience. You would either be being controlled by others, finding yourself in that situation, or you would find yourself controlling in all areas or a lot of areas in your own life. And that would be a sign or signal that there's a thought form or an entrapment there. Yeah.
Okay. And with the temples and crowns, because that's where the throbbing started, my heart started racing. So I know that's usually clearing.
Yes.
As I was listening to your
whenever there's a throbbing in an energy center, this is a sign or signal there's energy there or some entrapment a little bit. Everybody has them. Yeah, they're coming and going all the time, and some have been there for a long time. But we would tell you that as energy starts to move, or we're pushing energy through everyone's energy centers that we meet with these days, because Robin has fully activated Kundalini, and it has the ability to enact people or move things. Let's use that term. And so what's going to happen when that energy starts to push into your field, if there's an energetic entrapment there, it's going to pulse because there's no room for it until you remove what is in there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense. I know you were talking with Suzanne a lot about emotion of what's there. And I have a lot of anger. I'm just going to call it what it is. I have a lot of anger in the situation that I'm in with, um, having my mother here and facing the fact that I'm not being, I can't seem to cross over the bridge to compassion.
Yes.
I know
Then
that I
don't
need
try
to be
to.
there, and
Stop
I'm not.
trying. Accept yourself and what you feel. You feel very restricted. You feel very stuck. You feel very trapped. Do the same thing that we told the client ahead. Yeah. Love
Okay.
yourself for what you feel. Stop trying to make yourself feel differently than you do, and you will get relief.
Okay. Thank you. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Let me just see who's next. We have Michael. Go ahead, Michael.
Greetings. I don't like a lot of the three-dimensional things like eating food and stuff like that. I see myself ascending and getting away and having to eat and do things. And I was wanting to know, have I had my Kundalini? Has that happened?
So what you're saying is you've been practicing a particular diet or a way of eating in order to enact that energy. Is that what you're saying?
No, not really. It's just I feel so alien here. I don't feel like I fit in. And as every day I learn and I grow, I feel like it's just like I am, like my vibration's so high and it's away from the three dimension. And I was just wanting to know if I have had my Kundalini uh, experience or awakening.
Well, when Kundalini is awakened and it becomes fully unified, you become very connected to the divine part of yourself and the earth as well. And you start to gain this understanding that there's no bad place that you've been and no good place that you're going, that it's really all one thing. And that in this unification of the soul aspect of yourself through the alignment of your Kundalini, your human will become an intricate tool or something that you admire and love in the experience that you're in, for you to express in ways that your soul aspect really wants to express in. So the idea that you're kind of bored with the human experience or you're feeling not a part of it is more of a perception that you are holding, that enlightenment, in fact, is going to separate you from your human, when in fact, it should engage you with it.
Okay.
It's a matter of shifting your perception. There's a lot of people that have been taught things in spiritual development. And it's one of the reasons really that we are here, is to be in truth about what it is that a human is trying to do in their experience in the unification of the soul aspect of themselves. Yeah. You live a part of your life where you're disconnected, you're not really knowing what direction you're going to go in. And then as you start to pursue your spirituality, you start moving in that direction and you start thinking, this is the most important thing, that being a human is no longer important. And we would tell you that really that is a false perception or a belief that one has taken on. And if you could open to the idea that you could do a lot of work here as a human in the conduction of the divine part of yourself through it, and actually remove the idea that somehow this is experience isn't worth having, or that you would like to live in higher dimensions of reality than what you prefer being on the earth. And we would tell you, you wouldn't be here if there wasn't good reason for it. There's nothing that a human is experiencing in their visit here that is not for the betterment of humanity and themselves. And so it is your job while you are here to discover what that is.
Okay. And as a human, going to work, it takes everything that I have to get through, with my pain and the negativity. And I try to raise the vibration wherever I go, listen to people. Can that be enhanced? Because I want to help people evolve
well, you
around me.
Get out of where you are in a feeling that you're in. Yeah. So as you go to work and as you are focused on your pain and your suffering, you are the attractor or the creator of more of same. Yeah. And so you have to move yourself to a point where you can find something to focus on when you are there that is of a higher tone or makes you feel better than what you have been allowing yourself to focus on. We are never going to argue with a human about what they say they are feeling in the reality that they have created. And hear what we say in the reality that you yourself have created for yourself. Yeah. We're not going to argue that you're not feeling pain and that it's not miserable for you. But in that tone or in that focus, you are the recreator of that over and over again. So you must go to work with new eyes. You must go to work with appreciation for the money that you get, for those that you do enjoy seeing when you get there, for anything that you can put your focus on, because as you leach your energy out into other areas, you're not congruent with the choice you've made. You've made a choice to be at work, and you might say, well, I have no choice. I have to work, but really you don't. You could quit. Lots of people do. Yeah. But you don't want to. You have made this choice. So then you must align to the choice you've made. You must become congruent with it. And how do you become congruent with it? You stop leaking your energy out in negativity about it. You start focusing on all the things it's providing you with and what you love about it. And does that mean you're going to be miserable forever or that you're going to stay in that job? Does not. It means that I, through that type of feeling, am opening myself to receive myself in my divinity, in the feeling it's at. And so therefore the new experiences, the better feeling body, maybe the new job, the better people all start coming in because of the better feeling you're sending out, you see.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Blessings.
Thank you. Okay, I feel Joan. Oh, sorry, Mary has a question. Go ahead, Mary.
Greetings, Robin. I wanted, I've got to get this condensed here. I have chosen to share so much of my life, 54 years, and almost all of it has been negative. My husband, he has lived, I have learned through previous channelings that he has lived many, many, many lives I didn't know anything about, but they weren't good lives. I was told by another that I am as Athena, that I am golden, that I am clothed in golden. And this was given to me by another channeler that was very intuitive. And I wanted to ask, am I like Athena in my relationship to him? And that is a question. But I have just a few other things to add to that. I know we have a limited amount of time. I want to let you know that I feel her. I feel Athena around me at times. Does she have a message for me?
Are you referring to a relationship when you say, is it with your husband that you're referring to?
Okay, the first part is I have chosen to share. I was married at a very young age. I've been married most of my life, and he has been, I have found out that he is
You don't need details. We just need to know how you feel in that relationship.
A
What's the feeling?
I feel a distance now. I did feel abuse.
You felt abused. You've been abused. How does it feel to be abused?
Yes, hurtful, and it hurt my self-esteem.
You have no self-esteem. How does that feel?
Low self-esteem was not like happy. No, happy.
You're an unhappy woman with no self-esteem. How do you like that feeling?
Not good.
Yeah. Move back into your childhood for a moment. Do you ever remember feeling that way?
Yes.
And that's what brought your husband to you, you see. You're a great creator. You all are. You hang on to something that you believe about yourself in your chakras. Those are the sending, receiving devices to the divine part of you. And it simply mirrors you, people, circumstances, and situations that support what you hold. If you continue to hold that you've been abused and not understand that you were abused, and love yourself for that, accept it. I was abused, treated terrible. Yeah. It's what I had to go through. Anyone would have felt that way. This is love of self. Yeah. And now you're aligning to the divine part of yourself and letting go of that feeling. And this is how you get things out of the field. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of these questions will have to be cut short because of the magnitude of the number of people. We are available for private sessions where we go into every single energy center and every single problem that you have, but we cannot do it on the show. We apologize. Yeah.
Yes. Well, blessings.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking to say as well. Robin is available for private sessions. We'll put her information in the description of the YouTube chat, so that people can reach out, because some of these questions are heavy and definitely require a lot more attention than you can give in just a few moments. Joan has a question. Go ahead, Joan.
Thank you. Greetings, Athena. I just have a question about the energy that I'm feeling while I'm in my meditation and doing the deep breathing. While I'm on my deep breathing and focusing on my breath, I feel this pressure going down to my head all the way down to my body. It feels like a pressure, like, you know, they're pushing and pushing it into you all the way to your body, all the way to your spine. Right. Can you tell me what's going on that? Even also when I exhale, I can feel the energy, like I'm pushing up the energy.
Yeah. Well, you are inviting the energy in. You're wanting to open up your energy centers by people that are focused in that way is what you're doing. You're bringing energy into the system, but you have not processed emotions that are contained in the energetic field in the chakras. Yeah. And so there's going to be a pressure. Now, a human can do this. You can blow yourself up. You can cause a spontaneous Kundalini awakening by your desire to have it and by drawing energy into yourself without doing any work on yourself. And what you're going to do is kick off a barrage of negativity that resembles what you hold within you. So the very best thing that you can do, whether it's us or someone else, is you get some help removing what you've got stored in your energy centers before you do this kind of work, so that you don't end up in a 2-year process of unraveling a dark night of the soul, where people are actually desperate, they're suicidal, they're in misery because they are having one negative experience after another, because they have not allowed themselves to look at what they are holding and do the processes that we have been doing here today and remove some of the pressure out of the system before they start to bring the divine through it. The Kundalini energy, not to be harsh, but it doesn't give one hoot in hell about you. It's a consciousness. And when you call upon it, it comes in. Yeah, it tries to enter your system. And if you've not prepared the vessel, it's going to blow right through it.
I see. So it's all the emotions. It's supposed to be, you feel lighter, right? Well, sometimes I feel like I'm lifting. So that's why.
Yeah. Well, you can have a feeling of elation when that energy is starting to come in through the crown. But as it permeates your system, if you're not completely open in all your centers, you're going to feel pressure and pulsation.
I see. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to the YouTube chat. Angie, do you want to ask the questions, or can you see them all? I don't know if you can. Angie? Okay, I'll ask them. Diane asks, she says, I'm having a hard time to see how to connect to and attract more abundance.
Well, abundance is related to the root chakra. If you were stable in this center, you would feel as though I know how to focus to bring money to myself. I don't need to hoard it. I don't worry about paying a bill. I feel very confident that I'm living the life I want to. I'm able to have the experiences that I want to have, so I have the financial means to do it. These would all be a sign or signal that that center is open. And what we would do, again, if we were working with this person on a one-on-one session, is we would ask her how she feels in regard to money, and she would probably give us an emotion, and we would probably track it down to something she viewed in her childhood. And then we would move to the same practice where we get her to understand that she has held something that has created something. There's simply nothing going on in your experience that you would not have full satisfaction in unless you were holding something contrary to it. We tell people there's no negativity. There's the truth that the human holds that they call negativity. And then there's the divine part that has created lovely experiences out of everything you've ever felt. And so when you start thinking about having more money, the human says, there's not enough. You better be careful. You're not educated. How do you think you're going to do that? You're going to have to work 2 jobs. So it's going to kick out all of what it's holding. It's just going to hand it to you on a silver platter. And these are all things that you have adopted in your life experiences that you now have to move to love out of yourself. You can't deny it. You can't condemn it. You can't shush it away or try to make it be what it isn't, because that's not going to take care of the entrapment, is it? You have to look at what you feel and know yourself and understand yourself in what it is that you have chosen. Once again, that's why we wrote the book. You're choosing your emotions, and you're creating your experience based upon those choices. But a lot of you are choosing unconsciously. Unconscious choices is emoting without the realization that you're creating anyway, whether you know it or not. Conscious choice is directing yourself towards what you want to feel and understanding you are creating. And this is your divinity, this pure consciousness awareness. That's the divine. Unconscious emoting is the human.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Heymet Wally asks a question. He says, is there a relationship between emotions and the eternal now?
I would like to ask him in regard to what he is talking about.
Okay.
That emotions, we would tell you that how are emotions affecting your now? Let's just answer that way. Maybe this is the direction that he is wanting to go. They mean everything. You're creating your next moment based upon how you feel. What you're living right now, you've already lived. It's already behind you. And you've already projected a future out in front of you. And so if you continue to live the way that you have in the past, then the future that you have laid out in front of you is going to unfold, isn't it? You're going to get pretty much the same type of feeling things that you're in right now. But if you decide in the now moment that you're going to be a master of your experience, and that you recognize where you've been creating unconsciously just by emotional entrapments, and you decide to pick and choose how you want to feel, in the now moment, you start projecting out a new outcome, a new future that you can follow. But hear this, everything that you have ever focused on is in your universe. You've got it. You can't get rid of it. The moment that you feel something, the moment that you think something, you have added it to your universe, and the universe as a whole is expanded, and so is you. So there it is. It's all circling you like satellites. It's all around you. Every little nasty thing that you've ever thought about, you got it in your universe. You can't get it out. It's why we tell you to be a little bit not careful, but mindful. Let's use that term about what it is that you decide to agree with in mass consciousness, because now you've added it to your personal universe and you can't get it out of there. Now, provided that you keep your vibration high, you love yourself, you're feeling good, and you're directing yourself in mastery towards what you want to feel, those things can circle out there all day long and they're not going to bother you. But if you go into a bad feeling time and your energy drops, now you start calling in what it is you have in you.
Okay, perfect. Let me see. Okay? I want to make sure I was unmuted. I do want to ask a sort of follow up in that vein. When we talk about abundance, how much? I feel like a lot of people are able to attract things, but it's almost like a lot of people who win the lotto or lottery and then are bankrupt quickly thereafter. And I would like you to maybe address some responsibility in the management of your abundance, making good choices, not being flagrant, planning, having an education about what it is that you're bringing in. I mean, if you get a lump of money, which a lot of people think about abundance as abundance, but there's spiritual abundance that's taking care of everything, not worrying about bills. But then there's also responsibility that when the bill comes in, you pay it. So is there any comments you have along those lines?
Well, in answer to your question, someone that has won the lottery really doesn't understand the accumulation of money, or how it is that money is really exchanged. Let's use that term. Yeah.
Right.
And so they naturally are not going to value it, because they don't understand. They have not been the ones that created it. Well, to some degree, they created it in a way, that is a little bit different than what other people do. Let's use that term. And therefore, what happens with a human when they create wealth through a lot of hard work and effort? Sometimes this supports a feeling that they have viewed in their experience, that people who work hard and who effort and who do all the right things are then rewarded with a large sum of money. And so they feel very satisfied. They feel very as though they're going to take care of that, honorment of it. Yeah. But it isn't necessarily the way that they're doing it. It's the perception or belief that they're holding around it, the way that they have viewed their experience through their childhood, the way their parents were, the way their lineage was, is in fact how they're going to. And so someone that's won the lottery that hasn't had that perception in that way of making money. We're not saying one is either right or wrong, but they have a different perception. They have a different belief. So that money comes in and they don't have the perception of value. They don't have the perception of hard work. They don't have the perception that others might have. Yeah. And so this, everything, what is reality? And so you're talking about money being an overall reality, but it's different in everyone's reality. And it's because reality isn't real. Reality is what you perceive it to be. That's what it will be for you. It's not something that's a universal thing. It's something that you hold a perception based upon your life experience, and you've decided that that's how you want to feel your experience. And therefore, as you feel that way, it comes into form. Yeah. We think that answers the question.
Yes, and I think there's an element of gratitude that is inherent in the ability to create abundance. Having the gratitude and recognizing where you are already abundant, and then creating more of that flow.
The problem with money is people look at it differently than what it really is.
And not just talking about money. I'm just talking about well-being. And so, okay, I don't mean to rush. I just want to make sure we get everyone's question. We have the question that I feel that you will like, and it's, how do you let go? How do you really accept and let go?
By experiencing what it feels like to not let go. Yeah. You can suffer just so long in your experience, and you get your snout full of it, and you decide there's got to be a better way. And as you have that decision come to you that you are tired of suffering and you want to feel better in your experience, you provide a little bit of an opening to the universe where you meet someone like us or someone like you, people that are on your channel or any other channel, that teaches you ways of being and creating that can be felt differently than the way that you've been doing it. Yeah. You understand that you are a creator, and it doesn't matter if you suffer when you do it or you feel good. We would love for you to feel good. It's why you came. And feeling good means you've united with the divine part of yourself in the expression of yourself. And therefore, you are a master of your human experience. You follow the preference of how you want to feel. And when you follow the preference of how you want to feel by what you felt that maybe didn't feel good, you start to send a signal to the universe, I want to create differently. I want to follow, even though I felt that, and I know you got it. I know this is the preference. I'm coming with you. Yeah. The universe feels you in that, and it quickly releases some experience to you that support what it is you are feeling. And you get this excited feeling about life. And you think, I just did that. I just realized I'm doing it. And then you think, what else could I make? You get excited about life, you get passionate about life, and you move out of the lower levels of creation and expand in the fifth dimension, where you create from joy and happiness, from mastery. I'm still going to feel, I'm still going to have emotions, but I'm going to understand that all I have to do is let go of them, and not in judgment, not in changing, even not in condemnation. And even if I can't let go of them, I just have to love myself for what I felt. And that sends the signal of love of self to the universe. And then it starts to flow experiences that match love instead of the one that you were holding. And pretty soon you're just creating in this higher level of consciousness. And you're so happy about it. You're so excited about it. And the universe receives that. And the elevation of the way that you create just keeps going up, you see.
Beautiful. Okay, this is the last question, and it's a cute one. It's just, how do you cleanse your root chakra in the simple way? is the question. A simple way to cleanse.
One of the things we like to do, is we run all of the energy centers with our focus, and we are accumulating whatever's stored in that focus, and we are keeping going down the centers one at a time until we reach the root, and then we imagine that opening, and we push everything that we have accumulated on the way down out the bottom of that center, and we send it out through our feet, and we call it sending it back to the earth from which it came, because most of it came from your human experience. And we imagine us rooting in our feet to the earth, becoming very grounded. There's great power there. And then we draw that energy, that powerful energy from the center of the earth back up through each one of the centers, coming through the root and then out the top of the head. And we're actually connecting the universe above to the earth plane below in this practice. But we like the idea of starting at the top and then using the root chakra as an expelling chakra for anything that was contained in the system.
excuse me, is there something the person should be feeling or experiencing during that time? Is it sort of check-in?
Oftentimes you will feel at the root chakra a crawling sensation, a very detectable, let's use that term. As you put your focus on opening it before you're going to push out what you have accumulated on the way down, it will feel as though there's movement or like a crawling sensation as that center opens.
You're muted.
Thank you. I was just going to say we are out of time, and then I wanted to thank you so very much for being here, for sharing your wisdom, for expressing these expansive ideas and touching on things that definitely need to be looked into further with much
We
more.
apologize that we do not have more time and did not realize that the show would normally go 2 hours. Yeah,
No,
we would be more than willing, depending on whether you call us or not, or your listeners would like to hear more from us, to reschedule another time where we would be able to commit to the 2 hours. Yeah.
perfect. That's wonderful. So we will do that, but in this moment, I want to again thank you. And if you can, why don't you give the ways people can reach out and contact you?
Sure.
And,
Yeah. I have a website. It's athenaintruth.com. On the website, I have group activation classes that I've just started that are going to be going on once or twice a month for an hour and a half. People can join that. I have a regular Q&A where people can join live like this and ask their questions. I obviously can't get through all of them, but we try to be fair about it as much as we can. And I also send out 2 transmissions a week that are downloaded by Athena that people really love, that are very enlightening. They get those with the Q&A as well. I have 2 uploadable courses that are already pre-recorded on a Kundalini Part 1 and a Kundalini Part 2 that actually help people to really understand that energy and what they can expect in that process. And so any of my course material or upcoming things and also my private sessions are all listed on that website.
perfect. Okay, so everyone make sure to check out our website and get in touch, join our groups. That would be fantastic. And again, I know you have to go because you have a session like probably in 2 minutes. So we will bid you adieu and wish you a happy holidays and a beautiful time in Florida and a great session.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good day.
Thanks. Good day. Okay. All right, so you can sign off if you need to go. I don't want to hold you, so I want to make sure you make your session. So I'm going to have Angie do the announcements, and then we'll do a blessing, and then we'll say bye-bye to everybody. How's that?
Thanks again. Pleasure seeing you all. Good
Thank
day.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I'm sitting in the dark.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have our gathering scheduled. It is August 8th through August 12th here in Canandaigua, New York. We're right on the lake, so we'll have a free access to the lake. There is going to be an element of family orientation to this. We are in contact with Rob Gothier, and it looks very, very promising that he's going to come with his family. And our Krishna Priya is coming. Jim, Will, we have a lot of our people that we are going to be all in the same space. So I know it. The price is $6.95 a person.
In the same space dance.
Yeah, that's it. It's a space dance.
Space dance. That's right.
It's $6.95 a person. Email classes@hucolo.org. I will get any information on how to register, how to make payments. It's still 8 months out. So if you want to do a payment plan, you are welcome to do that, making it easier on the pocket. We've already got 20 people signed up already. I'm very excited about that and looking forward to having so much more. Our flyer is on our webpage, humancolony.org, and it's also on our Facebook page. I have it featured up at the top for, like I said, the registration and the flyer. Classes@hucolo.org if you're interested and want me to get information out to you.
Perfect. Okay. Yay. All right. So next week we will have Jim, and Jim will be here for 2 weeks in a row, and then followed by Max, and then Will, and then somebody else who's
Yes.
new for us. So that'll be good. So Jim for 2 weeks in a row, everyone. Write it down on your hand or wherever you write those things. I'm in a weird mood. All right. So I'm
Welcome
back in
back
the
to
States.
America.
I'm back in America and I'm a little disoriented. Don't yeah. So much love to everyone. And what can we say?
I can
Oh,
sign
we
off
have-
with one blessing.
Yeah. Is Wendy still here? I had her also to do a blessing.
Yeah, I'm still here.
So why don't you do a blessing, Angie, and then Wendy do a blessing, and then we'll say sayonara.
Blessings.
That's very nice. Thank you. Inurun chikarana tihi koruru nyara pahaka ti tuhuyana mara ka chikiriana ma tutuyana na iti tikudriana paira tuhuyur nya ira tuhuyira nyara tahira kahe tuhuyana. Blessings.
Muted. You're muted. You're
I also got a new computer, but that has nothing to do with me not unmuting myself. I just thought I'd announce that. My other computer it's so funny because it had started to go funny. Like, if you drop your phone and you get like little lines. Well, my computer started to do that, which I did not drop my computer, but maybe somebody else did and didn't tell me. But it started a couple months ago and I thought, okay, I'll get a computer maybe next summer. I come off the plane from India. And I have about this much screen left on my computer. It's all lines. I was like, okay, getting a new computer, I guess today. So anyway, I don't know why I felt like sharing that. Anyway, so much love to everyone. Jim's here next week and the week after, and we'll see everyone. Have a fantastic week and day, and much love to you, and stay healthy, stay safe, that's it.